y'all. Welcome back to the Late Night Vision Show again. The magic number is 5. We have dropped 5 episodes today. This is our SHOT Show shows. I mean, these are our manufacturer interviews. We do it once a year, and it's on the first day of SHOT Show every year. But we have 5 shows, 5 different manufacturer interviews, and to introduce our next guest and who we have on the show this time, Mr. Jason Robertson, owner of Outdoor Legacy. Who do we have the pleasure of having on right now?
All right, Hans, this is exciting to have all these shows be able to drop at once. So basically, you could be watching this on Tuesday, the first day of SHOT Show, or you may be watching this 6 months down the road. Yeah. But each of these shows from each of the major thermal manufacturers is going to give you and just a little bit of an insight and a kind of a quick overview of what you can expect that they're going to release and announce at the SHOT Show in Las Vegas here in January. So today we are excited to have Mr. Slay Ishee, the sales and marketing manager at Bering Optics. And this is going to be Slay's first time on the show. We know Slay, he's a good guy. We are glad to have him on the show. And I tell you what, I don't know what all he's going to be announcing, but I saw over there a minute ago, he had a big list, and it looks like it's going to be a lot of stuff. Yeah. So buckle your seatbelts and listen in to see what Bering Optics has got planned for us for 2023. All right, guys, welcome back. And we are here with Slay. Slay, welcome to the Late Night Vision Show.
Hey, thanks for having us, guys. First time, long time listener, first time caller.
I love it. You already get the seal of approval right away. First of all, got to be the coolest name in the industry. I mean, come on, I know that's probably the first time you've ever heard that, but you're definitely the coolest name of anybody that's been on the show so far.
I appreciate it. It was my grandfather's name, so it's a special name.
So it is. Cool. So we want to welcome Slay to the show today. And first of all, before we get into what everybody, so all of you listeners, all the watchers out there, thank you for joining us. We have an exciting show, a big show. Like Slay said, first time guest, a long time listener, but we have a bunch of SHOT Show episodes that launched the first day of SHOT Show to talk about new products. And one of the most popular brands that we talk about on a regular basis is Bering Optics. And we want to thank you again for being on the show. Before we get into what everybody wants to hear about, and that is the new stuff, humor us a little bit. Let's talk a little bit. First of all, let's talk a little bit about you, your journey in the industry. Obviously, this isn't your first rodeo, and you've been in the industry a while. And then let's talk about a brief history of Bering Optics, and a company that's been around for quite a while, for a long time, but may not have heard about it until the last couple of years.
Sure.
So how did you get into the industry, Slay? What was the magic story that got you in? Because when I got in the business, Jason said you'll work harder than you've ever worked before, and you will hunt less than you've ever worked in your life, or hunt less than you've ever hunted. And
correct.
It's pretty true. I'm working when everybody gets to hunt. So how did you get into it?
Been hunting all my life, almost 30 years. Got into the optics game about 8 years ago. Been selling professionally in the outdoor industry for a little over 12 years. Just been a long tradition in my family of waterfowling, working dogs, whether that be labs or pointers. We love them all. And so just have a big passion for the outdoors. I don't get to hunt near as much, especially pig hunt near as much anymore. But that's okay. When I do, it's special. So just been a tradition in my family. Grew up in Arkansas. I moved to North Texas about 16 years ago, and probably spend the rest of my life here. So
I will say,
love Texas.
I will say a lot of good waterfowl duck hunting up in Arkansas.
Absolutely.
And Jason, all the duck hunters, they always have the best beards. Isn't that right?
I know. I know.
Something about the sport.
I don't know what it is. It's definitely why I can't be a duck hunter.
I can't. Pig hunter, coyote hunt, I just grow the scraggliest white mixed beard you'd ever see. Yeah. Duck hunters always, they have the beard game on point. So that is a great history of you getting into it, Slay. the tradition of hunting. Obviously, you got to be in this industry. I think to be successful in the business world in this industry, you got to enjoy it. You got to be a hunter. You got to be able to do this, and you got to think that the things that toys that you get to play with are the coolest thing ever, or you're not going to want to wake up and do it. So thank you for that. Tell us a little bit about Bering Optics. Again, been in the industry a long time, but really blew up recently with the popularity of really the Hogster line of scopes is when a lot of people were introduced to the Bering Optics stuff for the first time. So tell us a little brief history about the company.
So yeah, Bering Optics obviously became known 4 years ago for the Hogster Stimulus, the most affordable, highest quality, most innovative scope at that platform, at that 256 range. Actually, our founder in 2023, this will be 30 years of night vision and thermal engineering and technology production by him. So that started in 1993 with Gen 1 technology, and has progressed Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 2 plus, Gen 3, Gen 3 plus, and now the thermal realm. So been doing this a long time. We have engineers and technicians that have been physically working on these units from the inception of Gen 1. No, 30 years ago there wasn't thermal, but they've been working on the technology to get the thermal for it'll be 30 years in February. So we're excited about that. We've got a lot of new products for this year. So definitely excited to go to SHOT, show you guys what we got.
So I know Jason is chomping at the bit to talk. I promise you're going to get your time. I promise. So where is the Bering Optics office? Where are you talking to us from right now?
We have 2 corporate offices. One, our main sales and corporate offices here in Las Colinas, Irving, Texas. And then we have our manufacturing facility, in fact, warehouses out in Southern California. Okay. So a lot of sales and back end work is done here, and most of the production and manufacturing is done out in Southern California.
Gotcha. Okay. So again, before we get into new stuff, let's highlight the releases and the products that were new to 2022. Let's get a brief recap of that, and we can kind of talk about them as we go through. So I'll let you run away with that.
Sure. 22 was a great year for growth. We really had steady growth for what we were trying to come, to reach. So we did that. One downside of 2022 for us was obviously the LRF didn't come out last summer like it was supposed to. It's not a secret. It's here. It's coming out now. But just wanted to talk a little bit about why it didn't. And just be honest and tell the people, where we are. Yeah. So the unit was actually not redesigned, but reconfigured 3 times for the electronic components. Now, we could get lenses, we could get screens, we could get sensors and all that. The guys just couldn't get the electrical components to build the boards so everything could talk to each other. So they would come out with a prototype, be about ready for production, can't get that component, So then we had to resource, did it again. Long story short, the 3rd time, we're comfortable and confident that we can produce the product, for the retail market, and we're ready to do it. Long story short, it was electrical components. We fixed that now, and we are, it's still going to be, as everybody knows, it's still going to be a little bit different for a year or 2, but we don't foresee that big as of a problem this year that we did last year. So it was a great year, but the only downside was we didn't get this out. But just want to be honest, it is what it is. It was supply chain for electrical components, and
well,
here we are.
I would say this to you: anybody that gives you any grief about supply chain problems,
right?
That I don't know what rock they've been living under, but right, they can crawl back under it, because come on, man. I mean, the world knows. I think no more has to be said. I mean, we're listen, you're not the only company still fighting that, you know.
Right.
I bought a brand new tractor and they cannot deliver it because they don't have a valve for the loader and they haven't had them in 2 months. And so I own a new tractor. I don't possess the tractor. It's sitting on a lot, you know. And so again, it's not just this stuff. There's a lot of stuff in the world that's still kind of upside down. But all right, Slay, let's get to it. We've had enough of this other talk. No, nobody cares about all this. Just Hans is just asking questions to fill time.
Don't think that everybody listening didn't just notice that Jason scoreboarded everybody with his "I own a tractor" talk. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, right.
Scoreboarding everybody. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right. So Slay,
let me say something first, real quick, before we get started in the main course. Bering would like to present y'all with a little gift for being the best podcast on night vision and thermal on the web. This is 31 for our 30th year. We got y'all a 31-year-old bottle of Greystone Scotch whiskey. So
whoa,
this will be at y'all's door before y'all leave for shot. So be looking for it.
Thank you very, very much.
I don't think we've ever gotten a gift before. That's awesome. Well, thank you.
Hey, thank you guys. We appreciate what y'all do. I can't thank you enough. How many times I answer the phone? We work with Jason and Hines. They might need a new mount, a brobo, or want to change, but everybody talks how highly y'all, professionalism and all that. So we just want to thank y'all for supporting our product and definitely giving good customer support to our end users.
Awesome. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. I've got to say this though. When you say that we're the best night vision thermal podcast, I feel like it's because we're about the only ones. So but we'll take it. Hey, you know what?
But hey, there's some coming up now, so y'all gotta, there's
that's right. That's right.
Coming up, so no, we appreciate it big time.
Thank you very much. That's a very big honor. We really do appreciate that. And I can't wait to get that, and I'll make sure that Hans doesn't get any of it. But all right, so Slay, well, everybody's here. We know why they're here. They want to know what's new. They want to know what's coming out. So this is your moment to shine. I can tell you're ready. You got a list. Tell me what's new.
Okay, so this year we have 8 new or upgraded products. So we've got 6 brand new products and 2 products that have been upgraded. I'll just get into the first product. Is this what you're seeing right here on the 1022 is the Hogster Charge. So this is our intro into digital night vision. It is a 3-12 by 25. It's going to be a 4-ohm, highly sensitive CMOS sensor. So we're able to get Gen 2 quality with that sensitivity of that sensor, Gen 2 quality, Gen 2 plus quality at night without an IR. So like your Gen 2 rifle scopes, Gen 2 plus rifle scopes, they retail for starting probably, I think ours start around 3,000, okay? This one's gonna retail for a little over 1,000. And I'll get into pricing at the end and we'll talk about that.
Man.
But it does come with an IR, okay? It comes with a 940 NMIR. But the main difference between this and anything that's on the market is the sensitivity of that sensor to be able to use it at night with a little bit of ambient light to get a Gen 2 plus quality image.
That's awesome.
So
that's very cool.
Runs off 2 CR. It's in our tried and true Hogster chassis. You're seeing it right here. It has your magnetic power port. And of course comes with your Bering Optics QD mount.
Nice.
So you're telling me, I want to get this straight. You're telling me that this thing without an IR, no IR illumination on a little bit of ambient light, this thing is and it's still digital night vision, but that is so sensitive that you're just really picking up and intensify. I know I had to say intensifying. It's not an intensifier too, but it's intensifying that light. and you're able to see out there pretty decently without even turning on the eye.
Exactly. I had it out counting horns on deer about 400 yards. So, and that was, you know, it's probably half moon, you know,
Yeah.
not overcast, some good ambient light. Of course, if there's no light and you're under a rock, you're going to have,
Sure.
you know, an infrared light. Of course, it does come with one going to get you a little further out, but I think this is going to be an advantage for people this year for the price point. You know, this year's, you know, I don't see us, you know, interest rates going down anytime soon. So to save a little money and have the ability to get out 300, 400, 500 yards for our coyote hunters, I think that's going to be one of our top sellers for 2023.
All right. Well, we cannot wait to see it. All right. That's awesome. So you got a big list. We're going to move on here before we go too long. Tell us what is next. I know you got something else.
Okay. This one is just an updated product. So this is our, one of our best sellers, the Hogster Stimulus. This year we have this Hogster Stimulus VR. So it's going to have onboard recording and updated firmware. So same old stimulus, now you can record with it.
Nice.
Okay. Awesome. And guys, stick with this because at the end, Slay's going to come back with all the pricing. So if you're frustrated right now, just stick around. You got to stay to the end to get the to get the goods. Yeah. That's right.
Next is our Cryos LRF. So this is our edition of our laser range finding handheld binocular. Comes in your 384 resolution and also your 640. This one here is going to be 12 micron. Your rangefinder is going to be able to reach out to 800 in the 384 and 1100 in the 640. Has onboard rechargeable battery, getting you about 6 hours of battery life, and also 32 gigs of onboard recording.
Nice.
Okay. I'm going to ask a question about that, and I hope it's on your list. But what's your magnification on your 384 and your 640 base?
Sure.
Mag?
The 384 base mag is 3.25 out to 13, and then on the 640 it's 2 to 8.
2 to 8. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, man.
Good.
But wait,
Next.
there's more.
There is more.
There's more.
There's
Going
always
down the
good.
list.
It's always good to see laser rangefinders too on a monocular platform. There's such a shortage of it in the market. It's good to see that there's another one out there, especially in a 384 and a 640 version. So and it seems like it's not huge either. So
No.
it's another thing that you get to have a problem. But yeah, it's good to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving along, we move on to our Brazos LRF binos. So this is going to be a 50 millimeter objective with a base magnification of 4.8. So all of our competitors on the market, you're looking at a base mag of about max 3x. Most of, I think the top's 2.5. So we're at a basically a 5x out to basically a 20. Yeah. This unit here has 3 different modes. You've got the same sensor that's in our charge for the digital night vision. Mm-hmm. You have the 384 sensor from the Super Yoter or Super Hogster in there for your thermal, and then you have the overlay or the fusion. This unit, you're getting again accuracy out to about 1100 yards with the 384 with the laser rangefinder.
Nice.
Okay, so that unit, is it going to have recording or that sort of thing on it as well?
Yes, sir. 32 gigs of onboard recording. Again, rechargeable battery, 6 hours onboard rechargeable, and this unit will also take 18650s. So you can
cool.
also use those.
You almost forgot. That's an important, man. We're all about some 18650s here. Okay, very cool.
So you have the option of both of those.
All right, and so on that, I know you mentioned it's about whatever 4.8 power, give or take, on that. Is that going to be the same magnification for both the digital and the thermal, or is it going to be 2 different magnifications? They're both the same?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Very good, man. I like those things.
it's not, I've been able to use it. It's going to be handy. So,
Okay, very good.
and then next, and I guess what everybody's been waiting on is the Super Hogster LRF and the Super Yoter LRF.
Awesome.
So we'll start with the Super Hogster. Well, I'll just tell you about them both. Obviously 12 micron. The Super Hogster is going to be a base magnification of 3.5. Super Yoter is going to be a base magnification of 3. Both of them are going to have our new magnesium alloy body. So we went from a polymer body to a body that's lighter and stronger than aluminum. We have our magnetic cable connection here. And then probably the most important thing, or the most important thing, is we're running AA batteries. So this unit runs off AA batteries. Comes from the factory with rechargeable lithium ions and the charger. But you can run, you know, alkalines, you can run NiCis, you can run any kind of AA battery, getting you anywhere from about 2 to 5 hours of battery life.
People are going to love that. They're going to love it.
The double A's are going to be a big deal with that.
It is.
Now,
It's the most common, the most inexpensive battery, you know, on the market. So I feel like that's a real, a good move for the customer.
okay, so that is just the Super Hogster we're talking about, correct? With the LRF.
Mhm.
Okay, so is that unit going to have audio recording as well?
Yes, sir.
All right. I mean, I thought that was what y'all had said earlier in the year, last year, but I wasn't sure. I wanted to be sure.
It does. Yes, sir.
Awesome. Okay. So Super Hogster, but we're going to go up to, because the current Super Hogster is a 3 power, and you're saying this one's going to go up to a 3.5.
Yes, sir.
And, all right. Now I'm going to ask another question here. So I'm asking a lot of questions, but I think I heard you say something earlier before we started recording that really piqued my interest. I'd heard a little bit of rumors about this last year, but I think I heard you say that there's going to be an optional American defense mount, which is something different. Y'all have been, you've got your standard Bering OEM mount that y'all ship with. And then a lot of people know you've got the LaRue mount you can upgrade to, but I think you said American Defense, and we are huge American Defense fans on this show.
Absolutely. So yes, in 2023, you'll have the option of on the Super Hogster, Super Yoter LRF, the LaRue mount, the American Defense mount, or our Bering Optics mount.
Awesome. Cannot wait. That's great. So tell us about the Super Yoter.
So the Yoder is going to be a base of 3 and going up to 24. The LRF on it is going to go out to 1,100 yards within a 1 yard range. On both models, we have what we call our BDC reticle. So in the Super Hogster app, you can go in and design your own reticle. Well, you can design your own reticle, and you're going to actually be able to make a reticle with 8 holdovers. Okay. So if you want to do 2 or 3, that's fine. 4 or 5 hashes, that's fine. But you can do up to 8. So you go into the Super Hogster app, you pull up the reticle, and what this is going to do is going to correlate the rangefinder to the reticle. So you can set your reticle at 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, right? And when you scan out into the field, and just to say you're down here low first, closest, and you scan out to 100, when you get to 100, that dot's going to light up. Okay. When you go back down, it's going to go off. Let's say you're tracking one out, and just to say, he's walking out and it's 250. That one's going to light up. You shoot, and you take off, and one's way out there. You just scan out there, and that's 550. But it's 550, and your bottom dot would light up, and so it basically makes the scanning mode of the rangefinder talk to the reticle. So you could do playing with it, you could do 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108. And literally when you pull it up, you just see it go up the reticle.
Wow.
So
That is nuts.
it's nuts. It really is. It's not on the market right now. It's something that I think, again, with a lot more coyote hunters and people shooting longer shots, bolt guns, it's going to be a neat. I know it's a neat technology. I think people are really going to love it.
Right.
And so that's going to utilize your current app, but I'm assuming some updates to it.
Right. It's exactly.
That is awesome. I tell you what, my head's still spinning about all these, and we still got something to go here. We're still waiting on prices. I mean, you've got a lot going on.
We do. It's been a big year for new products engineering, and definitely excited about this one. Can't wait for the people to be able to go out and use it.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, what you got next for us?
The last one is another upgrade. So we've had our Super Yoter clip-on, Super Yoter C. Okay, it's been upgraded this year. They've redone the optical system and updated the firmware where you're actually able to get out to 16x on your daytime scope. So our nearest competitor, it may work at 4 or 5, but after 5, it's really going to start getting pixelated. With the Super Yoter, you can run up to 16x with no pixelation at all. So it's the most versatile, most affordable actual long range clip on the market. Anything that kind of competes with it, it's going to start at about 15,000. So we're seeing a lot more coyote hunters. We're seeing a lot more long range type stuff, type shooting. And why would you want something like this? Well, why would you want to clip on? It's long, it's a little, depending on your daytime scope, it could be a little heavy. But with a traditional or a dedicated thermal, your base magnification is going to be max 3 or 4x, right? And once you hit, everybody knows, once you hit 2x, you're pretty much done. So you're at 6x at that point. With this unit, you can be out to 16x and have that same optical, clarity without it being grainy. So again, we're getting a lot more calls about these. You can have it in this configuration where it's on the bell, and then you can have it where it's mounted in front of an ACOG or in front of a prismatic sight. And you can also put a 4x magnifier there to make it a handheld binocular.
Okay, so Slay, I got a quick question about this. So one of the hangups with most of the clip-ons that we've been through in the past is they just don't work as well with daytime scopes that start in the 3 or 4 power base mag. I mean, they're great for 1, 1.5s, 2s, but you get to 3, and sometimes it's just the fact that you can't see enough of the screen. You're losing parts of the screen. So are you saying, I understand you can go up to 16 on your variable daytime scope, but are you saying this scope's going to be, or this clip-on is going to work well with scopes that start in that base mag of 3 or 4, 4.5 power?
Absolutely. So, a lot of guys run the Vortex 3 to 18, SIG 3 to 18. One of our post-app guys runs a SIG 5 to 25. Once you get to about 16, 17, you're going to start really getting pixelated. And that's a little overkill, really.
That's a lot.
Yeah. At 10x, you mean, that's 400 or 500 yards easy. So it's a little overkill, but compared to the other stuff, it's performing real well for us.
That's awesome.
Well, so we got any more products? Are we ready to talk about pricing?
That's it. I've got one more. I noticed we talked about our Bering mount. So this year we've added, this strap comes with a satchel that the scopes come in. We've added a D-ring to our QD mount. So now
That's cool.
the lanyard off your bag. Now you have handheld binocular.
Yeah.
Not going anywhere. So that's going to be a new addition to our Bering Optics QD mount.
Very
I
cool.
thought that was cool.
Okay. So you've got a lot there, Slay. I mean, you've got a bunch, and I don't envy you for having to memorize all of those specs, because Jason and I have to do it, and we get just so confused sometimes, but you did good. Let's hear the pricing rundown for everything, because there was a lot mentioned, a lot of products. People want to know what it's going to be and how much it's going to set them back, because I know there's a lot of things on there that are going to be on a lot of people's wish list. So let's hear what these prices are.
Okay. We'll start at the top again. The Hogster Charge, which is our digital night vision, is going to map at $11.95.
Okay.
So right at $1,000. The new Hogster Stimulus VR is going to retail map at $15.95.
Okay.
Then we have our Cryos LRF 384. It's going to retail Cryos LRF 384. Yes, sir. $22.95.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Cryos 640 LRF, it's going to retail at $32.95.
That's good.
The Brazos LRF Bino, it's going to retail at $44.95. The Fusion technology.
Okay.
Super Hogster. Super Hogster with the LaRue mount is going to map at $39.95. Super Yoter with the LaRue mount is going to map at $51.95.
Okay. Awesome.
And then our clip-on unit with the 3 different variations is going to retail right at $5,000.
So
Wow.
folks, there's a lot in there, a lot of different price range, starting from around the $1,500 range all the way up to a little over $5,000 range, a little something for everybody. And Jason, it's this continuation of what we've talked about for a while. More features, more performance, better options, competitive prices. The prices of these things are definitely coming down, and it is a good time to be in the market for something brand new. These are awesome changes. I mean, we can recap real quick, but I mean, just some of the things that you talked about. Yes, the questions about the Super Hogster, the Super Yoter LRF have been there for a long time. Like
Sure.
Jason said, we know, and you're not the only manufacturer that's dealt with that. We've named several products that we're probably still waiting on. But the fact that it's finally here and it's finally able to be put out on the street is a great thing. The AA batteries, you know, and the fact that it comes with rechargeable AA's, but people that are not just hunting, but camping, preparedness, survivalists, people love easy to get batteries that they can have and stockpile. So that's fantastic. Anything like that. I'm really interested, Jason. The first optic that I want to test is the night vision, because I am super intrigued about that. So Jason, go ahead. We need to get on the list for a couple of those right away. And then, I mean, a continuation with your monocular LRFs and your binoculars, so to say, but not, you know, not really.
Well, one more quick question that I had was, you mentioned the AA's on the Super Hogster LRF. Are those going to be AA's on the Super Yoter LRF? Or is it going to be different?
Same setup.
Okay.
So the LRF models will be using our new AA battery power system. And of course, you can use externals, you know, external battery pack as well if you need that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put you on the spot, ask you one question that I don't think is gonna be too hard, but is your current scopes that you've got, and I'm not asking if anything's going away and all that. I mean, I know you're gonna keep most of that stuff there, maybe everything, but is there any immediate change to Super Yoter, Super Hogsters? I mean, they're still running your CR123As and all that kind of stuff. Is there any changes immediately planned for, I mean, you know, January 2023 on any of that stuff?
Oh, so there'll be full line program. We'll have all those scopes. We still have a demand for the non-LRFs, for the guys super close. So yeah.
Yeah, good. Well, the only reason I asked that is I know there's going to be guys that are like, you know, oh man, I was wanting to get a Super Hogster. I don't need the LRF. Is it still going to be here? Man, I want a Super Yoter and I don't need whatever. So yeah, you got a very good line of optics for sure. So that sounds great.
So
absolutely.
Slay, I'm just, as we round it out and we start to close the show, First of all, tell us how people can find out more information about Bering Optics products. And then y'all have something that you want to talk about for SHOT Show. Is that right? With some people stopping by the booth? Yeah, why don't you go ahead and mention that here?
So this year at SHOT, we're going to be giving away an all-inclusive hog hunt with some of our new technology they'll be able to use that before it hits the streets. Everything you see here, most of it will be out in February. Some of it are just two little things in mid-March. So come by the booth at SHOT, come see us. All our dealers, new dealers and current dealers, will have an option to win that, and we look forward to taking the winner out and having a good time.
Good. Is Jason guiding it?
Yeah.
Let
me tell you something. If I'm guiding the hunt, it's bad news. Nobody's going to kill anything. I kind of think Hans and I need to get on this so we can get on some pigs again. That's what I'm saying. We've about shot them all. We need to go shoot somebody else's hog.
Exactly. Shoot somebody else's hogs. So, and also finding out more information about Bering Optics products. Is there any place that you want to send the end users?
Sure. BeringOptics.com is going to get you to all your information on our products, information to get a hold of us, and to get a hold of a dealer to be able to get some of our products.
So
awesome.
You will continue to hear more about Bering Optics stuff this year, 2023. Jason, this is just more content, more reviews for us to do. I'm excited about doing them. Go check those out. For everybody that's not going to be at the SHOT Show, these type of shows are a chance for you to see what all the people that are at the show get to see. Maybe even better, because you're getting at home watching this, you're getting to hear it in depth and detail instead of just walking up and down an aisle and glancing at something on a table. You're getting to hear exactly the specs and what's being released. Definitely want to thank you for taking the time to be on the show. You've done a great job.
Absolutely.
You've got a great lineup there, all the work and all the hard work that everybody does there at the Bering Optics facilities, and we really appreciate the gift. That is more than enough. You could have got us with, like, I don't know, a high five at the SHOT Show or something like that. But we really appreciate it.
You're welcome, guys. Thank you all, and thanks for having me on. Hopefully we can do this again sometime. I appreciate the time.
Yeah,
absolutely. All right, guys. Hey, listen. Stay tuned to the Late Night Vision Show. We've got lots of more content coming. If you're watching this, the week of the SHOT Show, that's awesome. Hans and I will have another show coming up live from the SHOT Show on Thursday. And then when we get back, we'll be recapping all these things. As y'all know, we're recording this a few days before we leave. I was just talking to Slay. We're already getting our clothes drug out and bags packed. And so we're getting this down to the wire, but we will. Yeah, it's right. He's packing these things up, getting ready to carry them to Vegas. So we're excited to get to go see Slay and all these optics hands on here in a few days. And so I know y'all are going to be wanting to know more about this stuff. And so stick to the Late Night Vision Show. And again, we'll be bringing you all the info that we can, and we're excited about it.